Hello, welcome to The Writing Engineer. So I've been a little lax recently in getting videos up onto YouTube due to stuff and things, basically life getting in the way of me being able to record any sort of anything for any length of time. So the next couple of videos are going to be a little bit of a departure from what I normally do. We're going to be going over how to upload your book into Draft2Digital, how to upload your book into Ingram Spark, and how to make a handout that you can do from one of the short stories that hopefully is an add-on to one of the books that you've read, or one of the books that you've written more. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the next couple of videos, as hopefully I'll be able to get these done in a day or two and get them all up on a scheduled release time. And this is my son waving hi so that everybody could see him. Okay, so we're going to try going to upload our digital book to Draft2Digital today. Hopefully this will go well. I'm by myself taking care of the kids today, so we'll see how this goes. There we go, Draft2Digital. Alright, here we are. For those of you who haven't seen this website before, these guys are very similar to Smashwords. There's a few differences. A lot of people prefer one or the other depending on various things, whether they've been with Smashwords since the beginning or if they like Draft2Digital's conversion algorithm, etc. But we're going to try Draft2Digital today to give everybody a chance to see how it is to upload to an ebook distributor that is not Amazon. All right. Right, so I already have an account. I was messing with this while trying to convert one of my short stories over to an ebook. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in here. Third time's the charm. Alright, so you can see here I've already uploaded my short story accompaniment to my book, Amara's Law Blood Tech. This is called 12's Escape. This is about one of the main characters in the book and how they actually escaped from the facility where they were being kept. So we're going to add a new book today. Alright, and you can see here we've been presented with a lot of stuff that we're going to fill out. Upload book file. So upload your manuscript. We support Word document and DocX format, RTF, and formatted EPUBs. Alright, so let's choose the right book here. Amara's Law. We'll go into final revision for release, our for release, and the one that I uploaded should have been Amazon. Here we go. Amara's Law for release, Amazon Kindle v2.docx. So we're going to open that one up. Let's see what it does here. Alright, nice green check mark says that it's uploaded it. Your book's title. Please do not include the series, title, or other parenthetical information. So this is going to be Amara's Law, Blood Tech. The language is English. Series information is going to be Amara's Law. The release date is not going to be September 2019. This was released back in May. And you know what? I'm going to pop right over to Amazon. We're going to check out so that I have the release date correct. Now my book is probably not going to come up first. Oh, it did come up first. Look at that. Son of a gun. So this was going to be published on... I know this information is here somewhere. So you guys get to see a little bit of... Oh, publication date, April 12th, 2019. Awesome. So we're going to go back over here. April 12th. 2019. Perfect. Books order number in the selected series. Excellent. Number 1. Contributors, Andrew Griffin. Description. So we will go back over to Amazon. We're going to go up to our back cover copy. Copy that. Come over to here. Paste it in here. Done. Now we can scroll down to publisher, but that's me. ISBN. So this is different for every version of the book that you have, and since the one that I published was, published on Amazon, we're going to leave this blank so that Draft2Digital will provide an ISBN number free of charge. Let's see. BISAC subjects. These are subjects, well, I mean, you can read this for yourselves. So what we're doing here is the BISAC subject is basically similar to the Amazon genres or the Amazon categories that you would normally list your book in. So we're going to go into, we're going to scroll down here to find, it's either under fiction or science fiction. Okay, so it's probably under fiction. Aha! We're going to go through and find science fiction here, which is right here. Action adventure, alien contact, apocalypse. So we're going to do a couple of these. Action adventure. We're going to do genetic engineering. We're also going to do hard science fiction. I think that's most of the ones that cover what I've got in there. It's not any of these other ones. Some people have said mine is kind of post-apocalyptic, but since the world hasn't really changed drastically and fundamentally in my series, I'm not going to include that particular one. So let's see. Search by, oh, that's for keywords. So we're gonna leave the search terms blank for now, because there's no explanation for that, and people are mostly going to be searching for the genre or the title when they're searching for books. So we're going to save that and continue. All right. Details. Step 2, layout. Cover image. Well, it just so happens that I do have a cover image for this. I'm going to go into covers, final covers, 6:9 front only, high-res JPEG picture. That's the one that I've been using for most of this stuff. I do have a couple other things, the ones that are my full covers. I also have 5 1/4 by 8 and a couple other promo pictures. But we're going to upload this front only, as the ebooks, you only really need the front cover image. So we're going to open that one up. All right, and there it is. Now this is a nice feature that they have. If for some bizarre reason you accidentally lose your cover, you can re-download your cover from Draft2Digital and recover that if you've uploaded it. So I think that's a nice little feature that they have there. All right. So introduction. So if your book does not already contain a title page, Draft2Digital. So I believe my title page. I do have a title page right here. I believe that's also part of my copyright page. I also have a copyright page. I do have a dedication, but that's already in the book. Blah, blah, blah. Teaser, I have one of those. Okay. Oh, it looks like you can actually include what other things that you've uploaded. Yep, and I don't really have any of these things either. These are already all in my. Here, I'll show you. I'll actually open the. Daddy, what is that noise? The book. Well, there's one of my sons. So we may have to pause and continue on from here. All right. So here we are. I'll just quickly open this so you guys can see. All right, I'm pretty sure this is the right one for release. Okay, you can see I have plenty of versions here. let's see, for Kindle V2, this is the one that I had before. We're just going to open it up in LibreOffice real quick. Bring this over so it can be seen on this screen. Here's all my styles and stuff that I have, which if you haven't learned about styles, you really should. It's super important. So this is my main Kindle file, which I did through Microsoft Word. You can see here on this side, it's got all the chapters already called out. You know, I have the title page. I have the introduction, which is kind of a thank you very much for a lot of people who have done this. You know, the Amara's Law actual statement, and then the book starts. And at the end of right, here's my bonus that I added, and you know, here's the call to action that I have with that's already in my book. So all of this stuff that they're asking me for is in the main file already. So I'm not going to bother with putting a bunch of this extra stuff in here, because I have the also by, I have the new release email notifications, sign up. I have all this stuff is already in the file that I have. So we need to check and make sure that there's introduction, and then the actual law called out by Roy Amara, and then it looks like we have all of my chapters here, including the bonus one at the end, and that looks pretty good. So we're going to save and continue. All right, here we are, preview book layout. So as I'm running through this is the first time I'm running through this. So you guys get to see the first time someone going through this. Maybe this is your first time as well. But we'll check out kind of what's going on here, making sure that everything looks right. Here's the table of contents. That looks pretty good. All right, a nice introduction here. All rights reserved, the law itself, and then the book starts up. So this looks pretty good. There doesn't seem to be too many things that I'm missing here. Oops, was that a little something weird going on there? Nope, chapter 2. All right. So this should all be good. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's kind of doing something weird when I get to the end of the chapter, but that's okay. So we'll just click through one more chapter here, and then we're going to see what this does. So this is going to go to each of the chapters in turn, and so we can see the beginnings and make sure that the chapter titles are called out. So I do have a little bit of a spacing issue on some of these chapters, but I think that's probably okay. You know, I don't think anyone's going to call me out for a spacing issue on chapter 7, just under the title there. So this looks pretty good. So when we get to chapter 18, we'll run through chapter 18 one page at a time, make sure it ends properly. Oops, kind of flew right by that. Alright, so that does end properly. Now here's my outro, and then the bonus material starts in. So this looks pretty good. This is long. I'm not going to click through all this. This is 2 whole chapters that I was able to include. Alright, I have reviewed this. Okay. So I guess we want to do... I have no idea what these are. Let's check it out. Modern watercolor. Oh, interesting. Huh, you can choose different types of ways to run your change scenes. So this is interesting. This was not available with the Amazon one, and I kind of like, ooh, that's kind of cool. I'm kind of liking this. So this was without any form. This is just formatting that I included in the Word document itself. If we go with several of their other things here, this is kind of interesting. That one is kind of cool. If I was to change anything, I might go with this one. So that's an interesting way to do the chapters. Although I think it's probably not in keeping with my science fiction here. So let's try some of the science fiction ones. Nope. That's kind of alright. That sort of goes with my cover. But yeah, some of the, definitely not that one. So if we were going to go with something, possibly the hard line or maybe the digital echo. You know, I'm not sure. Let's see if there's a couple scene change, see what that looks like. Oh, the scene change is kind of the same thing. Not really super liking that for the scene change. Let's see what the hard line does here. Alright, so that's, oop. Oh, that's not too bad. That one's interesting. Chapter 15, and then with the scene change has a neat little doohickey in the middle there for when we change the scenes. But I'm sure that like each of these will have a type of break and a little graphic that will go on top of your chapter, depending on what you're going to do or what type of book that you have. So if you want any of these, you can probably do that. I may stick with either the simple, which is the main one, or minimal. Let's see what the minimal scene break does, which is these dots at the top here. I think I might just stick with the D2D simple, which is my main ones. All right. So then I guess if we're happy with the way this is, I have reviewed this manuscript and approved for release and distribution in any sales channels I select. Check. Now at this point, if you want to redistribute this book yourself, you can download a MOBI file, an EPUB file, or a PDF file for distribution, you know, as you see fit. For example, if you have a store on your website, or if you want to give away free copies to people, just make sure that you know, as Amazon is wont to do, it will find various copies of your book on the web, and if it sees a price that's lower, it will either notify you that there's a price lower, and if you don't want them to change it, then you better change it, you know, toot sweet, or you know, you can offer it in a format that they don't offer, like EPUB. You know, so just be aware that Amazon does monitor other sources, and if they do find a price that's cheaper, really kind of regardless of the format, they will tell you that they found a cheaper price, and then either match it, or they will notify you that this is listed somewhere else. You know, especially if you have it in Kindle Select or Kindle Unlimited, that should not be there. But we're going to go ahead and go forward, save and continue. All right. So now digital stores, digital bookstores use agency, blah 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 blah. If you guys want to pause and read that, you can. Digital book price. Select the target book price for results. So these are the $2.99 to $9.99 are the 70%. Are the 70% marks for Amazon. If you have between $2.99 and $9.99, they give you 70% royalties on your book. And anything below that and above that, they give you 35%. So I would recommend, if you don't want to suffer any sort of Amazon wrath, to publish it at the same price that you've offered your Kindle book on Amazon. So let's see, digital stores. These stores allow users to purchase ebooks for download, delivery, directly to dedicated app store. So I would actually want to do all of these. And kind of go as wide as possible. But in my particular case, since I already did Amazon by myself, I do not want to check this because it's already been submitted to Amazon. We can also choose subscription services like Scrib, 24 Symbols, Playster, and Kobo Plus. And it looks like the royalties are pretty much the same there. So we'll go for no additional fees. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Now, library services. Library services are a little different from what you might want to purchase a book. They, I'm sure most of you are aware you can borrow a book from the library on your Kindle, or many libraries.
So they may either purchase the book or or however they want to run that. So this is something that I'm not familiar, but I might just go ahead and just leave it there, because I guess the royalties are so much lower because they are library books. But I definitely want to beta testing. Hoopla does not allow price changes. Once you have published at this price, it cannot be changed. You may delist at any time. I have no idea what Hoopla is, or what. So I am going to actually uncheck that. But we'll go with Overdrive because I know Overdrive. I have. I've heard of Biblioteca, but I've never heard of Baker and Taylor. But we'll go ahead and do that. And because I kind of like to be in charge of almost everything, I don't like them to remember my choices, so I'm going to deselect that. This looks pretty good right here. So I think we are all set to go ahead and publish the book. So yeah, I don't want them to do that because I might want to change things for different books in the future. All right, here we go, ladies and gents. We're going to submit this for review to Draft2Digital, and hopefully everything will be okay. So, submit. I am the creator of this content. I confirm that I have all the rights necessary for the content, the cover image, and all data for marketing and distribution and sale, and that I have agreed to the Draft2Digital terms of service, which I have done actually beforehand. So we're going to check that. And I am the original. Okay, so here we go. Taking a little longer than I had anticipated. Oh, hey, there we go. All right. I am not going to start an audiobook because that's a whole different ball of wax. I may look into it in the future, depending on the success of the books, this book series, and maybe other of my book series somewhere down the line. But I don't think I'm at a point right now in either popularity or sales to justify the cost of going with an audiobook. So, this has been successfully published, and it's currently being distributed to all the retailers we selected. Check your publishing progress at a glance from the View Book Detail page. So let's actually go ahead and do that. Oh, there we go. So, some of you may or may not know what a UBL is. That is a Universal Book Link. So you can take this and publish it on your website or wherever, and direct people to all the stores that this is published to right here, and that'll be it. That'll be great. Apparently, we can still download the Mobi and EPUB files. Now, something that I did want to show you is I actually have the ability to create Mobi and EPUB files. See, I have right here one of my short stories, 12's Escape, that I did in a program called Juto, which I have found to be both incredibly useful and really powerful. So what Juto does is it allows you to take any book format that you have, import it into there, and create an ebook format from that, of pretty much any format. And it allows you to do lots of formatting and adding your book covers and basically creating a fully functional EPUB book or Mobi book, or however you want to, whatever format that you want to put it in, and allow you to check it out on whatever device that particular file will open up on, to make sure that everything that you have is working properly, and you can see all the formats see all the formatting changes that you can. So I would recommend doing that. It's a very inexpensive program. It's about between $30 and $40, I think. I know a lot of people are really enamored with Vellum, which I've heard is a fabulous program. And I've heard that it creates stunning and beautiful ebooks with very little effort. But for those of us who both don't have $300 and don't own a Mac, we are limited in what we can get. And I have found that the program Juto, and that's spelled Juto, is a viable alternative. There's also a file conversion software called Calibre, Calibre, which is basically a file conversion. You can convert any digital book into any other digital book format. It's not really for creating ebooks, but you can do that by formatting it properly in Microsoft Word and then importing it into Calibre and changing it to an EPUB or a Mobi. Okay, so that is our first run through to see how Draft2Digital works. And that seems to me to be pretty thorough, certainly not any more complex than Amazon. And as you can see here, we can check out the ebook. If there's a print book, which I haven't, which seems to not be available right now because I didn't do that. Audiobooks is certainly not there, although since we have something in print book, it might want to do a print book. But for the print book, what I'm going to do is I'm actually probably going to run through what's it called? Their Ingram Spark, which I believe is Ingram's imprint that allows self-publishers to get into places like Barnes & Noble or the more notable bookstores. Draft2Digital seems to also offer some promotional services, which you can, I guess, sign up for and make an ebook promotional price, and then do something like that. So right now you can see sales are flat because the book has been published for all of 60 seconds. But this looks like a very useful and easy to do process. So I hope that you have found today's video useful. If you have, give it a nice thumbs up and tell me what you liked about it. If you thought that this was a little overly complex, give me a thumbs down. Tell me if anything here I missed, or if this is, for any reason you think this is not appropriate. But I'm trying to give people what they need to be a self-published author, and some people who just kind of want to see what this whole process and whether or not self-publishing is for them. So I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.